Never been if I got the heels up on my feet. You can watch my rap and down while I'm jugging on a beat. The swag I got was killing it. You got up in these streets and vocals do not mean a thing if you can't drop it on the beat. My name don't need no introduction, just know that I am. With some respect on that cocaine while I'm in this business. Cause I got the heels up on my feet. You better watch my rap and down while I'm jugging on a beat. The swag I got was killing it. You got up in these streets and vocals do not mean a thing if you can't drop it on the beat. My name don't need no introduction, just know that I am Adot. With some respect on that cocaine while I'm in this thing. My time is money, so if you gon' talk, you better make it quick. I'm coming for you.
Guys, you already know. You listening to Jewel Princess Johnson, aka Cocaina, and this is the clean version of Boss.
I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Get the money fast and I spend it quick. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. All up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Never been the type of chick to clear a room or up. I let them just talking niggas who it never gave a fuck. I drop my son and then I pick my money up, and that's why what is that it doesn't do, don't switch my money up. I never sold out, I switched up in a real since day one. If I say they made me okay, then make another one. And I said that's true. I put myself on it. I ain't a bit of baby mama, cause I got money. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Get that money fast and I spend it quick. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Hey yo, I never needed your permission to be me. What's understood ain't never gotta be explained.
Guys, y'all already know what time it is. You were just listening to Boss by Jewel Princess Johnson, aka Cocaina, and she killed it. But guys, look, we're gonna get lit tonight. We are gonna get lit because I have two spectacular guests, and then I might have a surprise. I might have a couple of surprises as we get moving. But listen, go ahead and share the live. You already know what time it is. It's consulting time with Lillie Mae. And my special guests tonight are some awesome gentlemen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play for you a little bit of music. The first individual that we will be chit-chatting with tonight is a spectacular individual, but I don't want to say too much right now. I just want you to listen to the beats. And guys, this has been played on an MTV reality show. See if you can guess which one. Absolutely. And one more for you. One more before we bring the man behind the sound in. See, that's why I know sometimes you don't even need words. Just the beat is just enough. I feel like I should be voguing. Hold on, see if I can Millie rock to this joint. Hey. I'm telling you, you guys get ready, get ready, get ready, because you are getting ready to meet the man behind the sound. You are going to meet the man behind the sound. And it's something about the man behind the sound that nobody understands. But it's something about the songwriter, the producer, the engineer, the man behind the sound, or woman, but this is the man behind the sound. Absolutely, absolutely. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Y'all already know it's time. And tonight, I am so excited because I am here with a gem, not even a staple, a gem, born and raised in the small town of Pontiac, Michigan, with no backstory in music, school music, church music, anything like that. You are getting ready to feast your eyes on Mr. Nelson K. Johnson. He has a keen ear for music and he knows what sounds good. Without further ado, Mr. Johnson.
Hey, how you doing today?
I am awesome. I'm awesome.
So we get in here. All right, cool. There we go. had to get it all straightened
so much.
Thank you
so much for being here.
Thank you.
So just you know what? I need you to do your own introduction. I think I pretty much brought you in, but I want you to tell everybody who you are because you are a songwriter, you are a producer, but I think the part that people really need to understand is that the man behind the scenes, the man behind the sound is really the man. And so I need you to just tell us about who you are, and then we'll jump into the interview phase.
Okay. All right. So as you mentioned, my name is Nelson K. Johnson, and I am from Pontiac, Michigan, born and raised. And again, I don't have any super music story background, but I create or produce music for film and television. That's kind of like my specialty. And I've been doing this since about 2013. Okay. I got my start by going to California. I had an opportunity with a friend of mine, a great friend of mine, who kind of opened up my eyes to producing music for film and television. The background music, and you can't turn on TV or watch a movie without hearing the music. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I kind of was very intrigued by that, even though it's behind the scenes. I still to this day get a thrill out of saying, hey, I had music on MTV or VH1 or this show where millions of people watch it, So
Absolutely.
and I've been doing this for, quite a few years now. And I really also try to help others gain knowledge and get their music on film and TV as well. So again, that's who I am. Again, a composer for film and television. Artist from time to time, but again, my forte is, documentaries, films, reality shows. Those things is what really, get me going and what I really enjoy doing aside from teaching and helping others.
So Nelson,
yeah.
So when I was doing my research or whatever, I had no clue that you were the man behind the music in Deadly Sexy, the movie. And I was in that movie.
Yes, I know. So such a small
and I had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm just flabbergasted. But guys, see, he's being modest. So I'm gonna put him on blast because his music has been heard on TV shows like MTV's The Challenge, Love and Hip Hop, The Life of Kylie, Courtney and Chloe, Real Housewives. I mean, Nelson K. Johnson is the man. He is the man. But you know what? We need to know a little bit about the making of the man, right? We need to know about the making of the man. So tell me a little bit about your mission and motivation for kind of moving into the industry. You talked a little bit about going out to California, but I'm really interested to know what kind of pushed you though? What really pushed you? When did you say, oh my God, this is it?
So for, again, back in 2013, I've always done, creative music, creative beats, but a good friend of mine, his name is Joe Ryan, for years, he would push me like, oh man, you gotta take that leap. You gotta take that leap. And he had already been in California, making moves and everything. So kind of like fast forward, with us being really close, he definitely motivated and inspired me and pushed me. And again, I got to the point where I left my job and I was there for about close to 6 years. So I actually packed up everything, left my job and drove to California, and we linked up. And that's, again, how, I got my first taste of making music for film and television. And God was really with us that whole time because there was a lot of struggles. So, again, got the opportunity, and it kind of like fast forward around, I'll say maybe November-ish, something like that. I'm married now, and I have 2 kids, my wife, Ashley, and my sons, Jackson and Krishan. Everyone sees them. I headed back to Michigan, and unfortunately, on my way back to Michigan, I got stopped and pulled over by the police in Utah. So when I got pulled over, initially they pulled me over for my tints on the windows. All right, I got pulled over, and they said that my car that I had at the time, they said they were pulling me over because the car was reported as stolen. So that's a crazy plot twist. So again, I was out in California, didn't have the funds I needed. So being irresponsible, I didn't pay my car note. All right. So they took it the full length. All right. So side note, make sure you take care of your responsibilities no matter what, right? Because it can definitely get you in some trouble.
Accountability. I like that.
Accountability. So again, I got pulled over for driving a stolen car across X amount of state lines, and I ended up spending 21 days in jail in Utah, a whole 21 days. I did not steal a car, but most people know that. Okay, so I didn't steal a car. Grand Theft Auto, all these different type of charges. And the way the court system was kind of set up in Utah, it again, I had to wait 21 days to, go back to court. By the grace of God, I was found like not guilty because I had the proof. And my wife now, we weren't married at the time, but she definitely pulled together everything that I needed, everything that we needed to make sure my name was clear. So we got that. But while I was there, all I did was really pray. I prayed for guidance and I prayed for just like clarity. And during that time, a lot of things, it felt like, oh, Nelson, slow down. You got to figure out what you really need to do. And I think that was God's way of slowing me down, really. And I always attribute God to really getting me to where I am now. So fast forward, I get back to Michigan and I realize that a lot of us, we have the starving artist mentality, like that we have to get out to California and New York and Nashville and these places to really make these moves, but
can you run that back? Run that back one more time. I need you to run that back.
We have this, a lot of us. What's that?
What do we feel like we?
Oh, we feel like we need to get to these places like the Californias and Nashvilles and New Yorks in order to really advance our career and to really make an impact. But it really, again, just takes the faith and the diligence and the work. And again, you can make these moves from wherever you are. Not saying that those places don't help, because California was definitely motivating, for like certainly, but again, I get back to Michigan and it really put me in a space, to where I was able to actually move forward with what I was doing. And again, I just networked, I prayed, kept the faith, and, kept doing good and doing the best that I can. And again, it led me to different opportunities. One of the opportunities, you mentioned Deadly Sexy, which thank you to Iris and Siri Austin Entertainment.
Shout out to Iris and Siri Austin.
Yes. So prior to that, though, how I linked with Iris was she did season 1 and 2 of the Heart TV series. So by season 2, they had an opportunity for an assistant composer alongside of John, and fortunately I was able to sync that opportunity, which kind of opened up so many different doors for me, and it was crazy. And I'm not sure, but we went to the premiere, and I think you were actually interviewing there at the premiere.
I was.
Come like full circle. So a lot of those opportunities and people actually taking time and to believe in me really helped build my confidence and help propel me into these different doors. So again, all thanks to God, my wife, and the kids. They kind of like, they really motivate me. And not a lot of people have a good friend like Joe that really like pushes you and stays on top of you and lets you know like, oh man, you're great. He tells you that all the time. And it's like, oh man, come on, But when people do that and they tell you and they give you these opportunities, it really changes you and allows you to propel and reach those goals that God has for you out there.
Absolutely. Nelson, that's brilliant. Like it's crazy because here I am. I'm like, oh my God, like he is just this composer, this producer, this songwriter. He is the man. And I'm like, I'm so honored. And then it's like, well, Lightbulb, I remember you too. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is okay. You said a couple of things that I want to really expand upon. I'm so glad I can go here with you because I am a firm believer in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So we
100%.
And I think that with a lot of the people I've connected with, kind of just stepping out on faith. So I say that to say, how have you connected with people in the industry? Is it you're in the middle? Do you have a middleman? Or are you comfortable saying, look, this is my work. This is what I'm capable of. What can we do together?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the main things. Initially, it's like, I'm really keen on finding opportunities, and creating your own opportunity because they don't necessarily come out of the blue, sometimes you have to create a situation that's going to allow you, kind of open up dialogue to get these opportunities. So I do a lot of research, like pretty much every day, even if I'm not creating music or I'm not doing anything that's music related, I'm always researching. So when I come upon an opportunity, I really, again, step out on faith, because a lot of these companies, they're huge and they get people that they deal with every day who want these same opportunities, but some people may shy away, like, that's too big of an opportunity. I'll never get it, or I'll never get in contact with them. And thankfully for a lot of us, social media is, everybody has this in their hands a lot of times. So it's like,
Absolutely.
you have to seize that opportunity to connect, even though everyone else is, having that faith and having that belief. And believe it or not, I definitely have reached out to people via like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and a lot of times I pray about it right after I said, like, Lord, let this message reach them, the way it's intended. And as cliche as it may sound, like,
come on now,
it happens, you know what I mean? So I kind of like keep that, and I kind of like keep the faith in a way of saying, like, I believe in myself and I believe this is my gift. And I just go for it. I get a lot of no's, of course. Like, I get a lot of no's, a lot of maybes, but the yeses are the ones that we count and the ones that actually really, that really matter. So the way I connect, again, I'm on social media a lot. It's again through word of mouth, where other people are like, oh, hey, so-and-so sent me here to ask you, or they told me this. And again, when they ask for the work, I just make sure I have a folder. I'm like, well, check out, here's my work. This is what I can do. And I kind of never turn down a challenge. Sometimes people have budgets. Sometimes people don't have budgets. But it's like, yo, let's just get to the work. We going to end up helping each other,
You said something. Okay, let's talk budgets, because, and this is how I know that this is it. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is how this is supposed to go. Because I had all this structure. I had a structured interview. In the clinical field, we have to do structured interviews. So I had this whole structured interview, but let's just let the spirit lead it, right? So you said something about budgets. Without, putting everything out there, if you're working on a film, right? What does that look like if they want you to do an entire project? What goes into making a soundtrack or creating a project for a film?
Okay, let's see. It's kind of a loaded question, but in a nutshell, initially what goes into it is, as I'm approached, the first thing I really want to know is what the producer of the film actually needs. So once they let me know what they need, this is before you talk about a budget. This is before you even talk about where they're going to release it. It's just like, okay, what do you need? And once they let me know what they need, then we're able to, kind of build upon that. But it's also the end goal, because a lot of people, they approach me and they already have everything laid out for me, so by that time, then I go into the planning of, if there's a lot of things that I can't do. For instance, I can't read music, I typically like play by ear and program and all that. So there are people in my circle that I'm able to reach out to and allow to get them opportunities, because there's things that they can do. And I'm a believer in that too. Like, if you can't do it, you can't do everything on your own, so if you can't do it,
that's
it.
Say it. What? Please repeat that. Say it one more time. You can't what?
You cannot do it on your own. Not at all.
Okay.
So you can't do it on your own.
Like a jack of all trades is a master of none. That kind of sound like that, but I'm not sure. But
well, kind of, yes, but again, it's like I mentioned, you want to give opportunities, so it allows me that chance to do that. You know what I mean? And again, so what goes into it? You get approached, you talk about the end goals, and you talk about what they actually need, and then I talk about what I can do for them and how I can help. And again, you get into the budget, and again, sometimes people have budgets, sometimes they don't have budgets, and sometimes they don't have any money at all. So it's like, at that point, it's like, well, what do you really want to do? And to kind of help with that, though, I'm in a unique situation where, as I've always held a full-time job while doing this, so during the time,
bring it back. You did what?
Yep, I held a full-time job, while for Daily Sexy, for example, during Daily Sexy, I was working. So I got off work, came home, got to work, communicated, did the music. So that's pretty much, it helps me also, when it comes to working with budgets and stuff, because you're not so much pressed about the financials, more so like, okay, we want to build the resume, because you will get to that, definitely, you know what I mean? The more you work, the more you go hard at it, you will definitely get to that point where, it's just like the work is coming like left to right, but a lot of times, everybody's coming up. So we just have to, work together. But again, once I know what the producer wants and needs and what they expect from me, then we get to talking about, the financial part of it. And then we just, for me, at least, I just want to make sure that it's beneficial for both of us. You know what I mean? Like, my main goal is always, I like to see my name in the credits. So like, that's worth so much to me.
I'm going back and look at the credits.
Yeah,
I'm going back and look at the credits. A Daily Sexy. I'm going back. It's on my Amazon.
Oh yeah, go ahead, go pull it up, and you will see, it, and I love that. That's one of my favorite things. So again, being able to do that, and it allows me to build my resume. You know what I mean, and network and connect with these people that I've worked with. So I think I answered your question, but I might went on.
No, you did, because the thing is, one of the things that, so guys, if you're just tuning in, it's consulting time with Lillie Mae, and I am sitting here with Nelson K. Johnson, and I reference him as songwriter, CEO, the man behind the sound extraordinaire. And the reality is that we're going to talk about him as an entrepreneur, because not only does he work to create opportunities for people, he is an entrepreneur. He has businesses. But the thing about his businesses is that he's giving back, because he's educating people. He's training people with the knowledge he has. And so I think it's very important that we really listen to what he's saying. And one of the major things I love that he said is Stephen Covey's begin with the end in mind. You know what I mean? So if you come to this gentleman, even if you don't have a budget, just think in the back of your mind, okay, he got to eat just like I got to eat.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we want to carry it. He has the family. And another thing he said, and I want to reemphasize, guys and girls, entrepreneurial endeavors are awesome, right? But we have to have some kind of capital to start up. Yep. So we can't just quit our 9-to-5s. I mean, I'm all about faith. I believe in God, but my mother and daddy taught me you better have some common sense.
You got to be wise. You got to be wise,
because you can't get blood out of a turnip.
Right.
Yes.
And that's very, very important.
So I see a sign, a banner behind you, and I would like for you to talk to us about 85 Productions and I'm waiting.
Oh, this here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay, so let's start with it's on this side. Let's start this banner right there. All right, so let's start the banner. So 85 Productions is my production company, and ultimately, we definitely specialize in composing original music for film and television, or just music production in general. But off of that, it's definitely focused also on the teaching and the consultation and the consulting of other producers or singer-songwriters who, again, want to get their music in film and television. So again, coming up, although I did have people in my corner, but I ultimately found it hard to connect with who I needed to connect with. So throughout these years, I just pretty much compiled and collected the way that I do things and how I go about doing things. And not to say if you do it exactly like me, this will happen for you, but just, kind of saying, here's a blueprint of sorts. Here's some blueprints. Here are tools that you can use. And so that's what, again, 85 Productions is ultimately about, is definitely creating music, but also just as cliche as it sounds, but like helping others. You know what I mean? Because the more I help someone, of course, the more that helps me, and then everybody we just keep growing. And within that, and let me see if I can stand up really quick. Is this right here, right? Super Sync Squad. That's my tag. So the Super Sync Squad, this is something that I am developing for, again, producers, songwriters, artists, even managers who manage artists. Sorry about that. And ultimately, it's just a platform. It's going to be a platform that kind of gives you those tools like right up front. You know what I mean? Where it allows us to work one-on-one, or whether it be me presenting opportunities or passing off opportunities from the networks that I have, or things like of that nature. So again, it's in the works right now. I haven't released the platform yet. I want to make sure that it's perfect. I want to make sure that I have everything worked out, but it's definitely going to be something where you can get real-time opportunities. There's other sites out there which are, great, and I've used before, but the one thing that lacks, that I've found, is that you don't really have that type of community where artists can connect, or they can really connect with somebody for real and have something that's like, that's like legit.
Ooh, you know what? Let's I don't want to go there, but I want to go there because as I talk to a couple of my mentors, and shout out to them, they know who they are. I don't do the name dropping on lives because it generates a different kind of publicity. But I definitely think that we have to figure out how to help artists, particularly independent artists, understand that everything that glitters is not gold. And a lot of people are out here taking your money, and you're going to them because pictorially the depiction that they show you is legit. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's definitely true. 100%.
But if you notice, they cater to individuals, and I'm gonna throw a term out there. I use this a lot. They cater to individuals who seemingly embrace poverty of culture. You notice I didn't say culture of poverty. I said poverty of culture, those who don't know any better, right?
Right, yep.
I think that we're in a situation where you are going to be able to open up a door, and I'm going to call it S squared. Well, no, S cubed, because it's S. Super Sync Squad. I'm going to call it S cubed because I think that what we have to begin to do is, like you said, if you can't find the opportunity, create your own. And so I think that's magnificent. Now, with Super Sync Squad, have you begun, conducting workshops and things of that nature?
Right now, I have I sold out 2 of my workshops last week, and I have one that's actually this Friday that I sold out. And I keep the groups really small because that allows me to focus on the individuals and answer their questions. And so in doing that, I basically take them from the very beginning. We start at the beginning of everything that you need to know. In my opinion, in my experience, the most important things you need to know in order to start on this road of getting your music in film and television. And again, Super Sync Squad is ultimately an extension of the consultations and the webinars that I host, to grow in this really, again, so they can get it from a perspective from a person that is actually doing it. And it's not necessarily about the financials or about like quantity. And to go back a little bit, another thing that sparked this idea was when I first started out, I paid about it was about $200 for this massive music licensing, get your music on TV type deal. And again, it was pretty much, we got automated emails. You were supposed to get a one-on-one with the person. That never happened. The email support wasn't there. And I quickly figured out that the contacts were, it's just stuff that you can go get the contacts off Google and everything if you want, which is nothing wrong with that. But you have to sift through all these to find out what's real, what's not, what's good, and what's bad. You know what I mean? And at that time when me just starting out, that was really, really a lot of, it was a lot of pressure because I'm looking at these contacts and now I'm dealing with information. I'm emailing people. They're like, how'd you even get my email? Like, why are you calling me? How are you getting my number? So I wanted to make it to where I have real industry people in my circle who are open, to that, so that they say, yes, you can, share my email, or yes, you can share my contact, versus just giving people random contacts and random information that, they can go and find, but something that's kind of vetted in a way.
Wow. So Nelson, it seems like you have worked your way up through the ranks, I want to say pretty quickly, because you said 2013, right?
Yes, 2013.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of people, it takes a long time. And I think the significance here is that you're not boxed in. You're not boxed in. But can you talk a little bit about that? What has helped you from getting boxed in? Is it because you are a composer for film, or is it just you? Is it that
when you
just
say,
that
when you say boxed in, what do you mean a little bit?
Generally, when we see an African-American male who is a producer, what do we think of? We think of hip-hop, rap, beat maker.
Right. Okay, true. Right. So
you didn't allow that for yourself.
Well, so what happened with that was, prior to maybe, I think that I want to go way, way back. Maybe we can go back as far as 2005, 4, 3. Like, I used to rap. I was rapping, and how that came about was, I got some links. If you want to hear some links, I got some.
Yeah, I want to hear some.
What did I do? I started making beats. A little more about myself too. I was not always a super fan of school. All right, so
okay.
I was skipping school a lot, unfortunately. And I barely. This is how I made it through high school, just like this, barely made it. You know what I mean? So there was another friend of mine, which, again, this is how God places people in your life, I believe, like at pivotal points in your life, So he had a music program, and that music program, I got hooked on it. I got hooked on it to where I was like skipping school to make music on this thing. You know what I mean? So it really got me to doing it, and I figured I'm just going to rap on my beats, So for a while I was like really, I was rapping, dropping songs, doing those things. And what stopped me from being boxed in was an instance where a police officer that worked at our high school, he heard our music and he asked me a very direct question. He asked me, he says, have you ever shot a gun? And I was like, well, nah. Right. And he asked me that because he asked, what I was rapping about at the time. He's like, you rapping about doing like selling drugs and shooting and blah, blah, blah. Have you ever done any of that? I'm like, nah, but nobody never asked me that before. Everybody's like, oh, this is nice. So at that moment, it really dawned on me that if you're going to do something, you're going to have to do you, you know what I mean? And you have to be yourself. So from that time on, anything that I felt I wanted to do, I just try to do it. And I had people tell me, oh, you're trying to do too much. You can't do this, and it's just like, it helped me, not be boxed in, because now I realize that I get further by, being myself, when you try to be something else, that's what kind of boxes you in my opinion. But when you just like living and you trying to do your own thing without a real worry, I guess, then you can, every idea that you have, you can kind of act on that idea. And some ideas are going to stick harder than others. And so again, I think that's what helped me become versatile and not be boxed in as a rapper or not be boxed in as just, you know, making hip hop beats or rap beats or, you know, stuff like that. It really helped me along and helped me this far because I was, I'm open, you know, I'm open to kind of like experiment and just, you know, doing whatever's going to increase my value, you know, as a man and just as a, you know, as a person just in general. I think that kind of answered
You are dropping so many gems and jewels. Something you said just speaks volumes to me. And that was, do you.
Yes.
You don't have to pretend to be something that you're not
That's
to make it.
That's harder, really, in my opinion. Mm.
But you know, I don't know about that because I've heard, you know, I knew that I did all of this stuff, got all of these accolades, I got all of these degrees, and sitting right here doing this is what I love. I love what I do from 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is my thing, behavioral health is my thing, but this right here, this right here, I could do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm animated by nature. But the thing is that I notice when I'm reading a script and I'm trying to get into character, I always come through the character.
Yeah.
And it said to me that you can be you and you can be in character and still be you.
Yeah.
And I just heard you say that by saying, do you. I'm thankful that that police officer asked you that.
Me too. You know, it was a very, very eye-opening and important question. You know, like I said, it resonates with me still to this day. You know what I mean? Because regardless of what you do, whether you do good or bad, you know, people are always gonna have their say so, you know, and their opinions, which is it's gonna always be cool. But at the end of the day, as long as you're really doing what's genuine to you, you're gonna always win, whether you know you have people cheering for you or you don't have people cheering for you or checking for you, whatever. You're gonna always win so long as you know that you're being genuine and you're being, I guess, real with yourself, you know. And it gets hard on some days because you're just like, oh man, if I was like this or if I was doing this, you know, you do struggle with that because we're all human, but you know, God just really gave us our own personalities and our own likes and dislikes and stuff, and you just keep rolling with that. So I'm definitely glad that he asked me that question because it told me like, yo, you don't have to rap about guns and drugs to be cool, you know, because again, years later, one thing that I was keen on was like rapping about and rapping to women, you know what I mean? Like love songs and stuff like that. But that opened up doors for me too. You know, I got a chance to perform in different states. I had a chance to, you know, like write songs and put out my own music that people responded to. I got chances to headline my own shows and things like that. And it helped me, you know, and I'm really, really thankful for those moments.
So tell me this, you know, social media is, but my question to you is, how do you feel like social media and the internet is changing the industry for independent artists? Because we know that now we almost feel like, especially with this pandemic, we almost feel like mainstream artists are sitting in our living room. So how do you feel like social media and the internet is changing the industry for independent artists?
Okay, this sometimes might be an unpopular opinion because there are some who think that it's not helping and it's kind of hurting in a way. But for me, again, back in my rap days, I was always an advocate of like, yo, get on the internet. You have to be on the internet. And I'm not saying that this was my idea, but before there used to be a site called Ustream. So before we had like Facebook Live, and if you notice, a lot of people now they're doing like live concerts and things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
I remember it being a moment to where there were people in different states that couldn't attend the show, or people that couldn't make it. So I'm like, oh, well, why don't I just bring a laptop and, set it up there and I'll perform? But it kind of didn't resonate because people are like, that'd be crazy, But I think right now in today's climate that the internet and social media is really where it's at. And one of the things that I teach people is the use of social media. Even I have a music licensing quick start guide that gives you action steps to take to get your music in film and television. It gives you action steps. Inside of that, I include like email templates. I include a social media template, meaning like Facebook and Instagram. Now, we talked about Deadly Sexy, right? But again, I met Iris by doing the heart. Now, the way that I got into the heart was because I use social media. I use social media to do research. I use social media to find like leads, which ultimately led me to being a part of the heart, which ultimately led to me being a part of Deadly Sexy. So I'm a huge advocate of the internet is doing wonders, and it can do wonders for independent artists because at the tap of a finger, you can reach millions of people, and as long as you're like personable and you have the time to actually connect with people one by one and be respectful and, have kind of, be a little articulate and professional with your message, like people will respond to you.
Absolutely.
I get people, where it's like, oh, hey, here's a link, check out my music. That's cool and all, but at the end of the day, if you can be relatable and you can relate with a person or, build up that little network. And I always say, don't beat around the bush either. Don't, if you're trying to get a hold of somebody and do some work, you shouldn't say like, oh, hey, how's the weather today? And make this little conversation. Be respectful.
This is what I do.
Yeah, be respectful, get to the point, because everybody has business to take care of. So I think with social media and the internet, I think it's very, very huge. And if you use it the right way, again, leaving California, a lot of my work is on the West Coast. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I have to be on social media. I'm not taking flights like every week, but these opportunities, this come by me being on social media and open up doors and creating opportunities when I create a dialogue with people. So I'm an advocate for that. I think social media is doing wonders for the people who are using it the correct way and who are using it responsibly with their music.
Okay. Now, what are some of the mistakes or challenges that you have faced or you kind of wish you could have avoided?
Oh, mistake number one, again, my mentality. The mentality that you have to struggle in order to make it, which I don't necessarily believe that that's very, very true. But if you think that way, you will set yourself up and you'll put yourself in situations that you definitely could have avoided otherwise. Also, I think that the way, even though I don't do it so much now or at all, again, the way that I've learned to speak to people, a lot of times I really tried to rush things, and I know that I definitely missed out on opportunities just by the way that you're speaking to someone, because we got to keep in mind that over the internet, words and tone, they come across different. You can't hear a person's tone and you don't understand a person's you don't understand like what they really mean sometimes. So that's very, very important. So early on, I was making a mistake of the way that I spoke to people and not realizing that they're on the West Coast. They're like 3 hours behind. They're an hour behind. So why am I reaching out to them at this time? So those things there, like learning how to communicate and growing to communicate. I wish I would have been a little better at that early on, because it would have definitely opened up a lot of different doors for me. But again, I've learned and I've grown over the years to get past that.
Wow. So Nelson, it's interesting that we are really living in a time where the internet is helpful and it can be hurtful because once again, it makes people feel like they are right there and they can just grab you and touch you.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's a good thing because accessibility for those independent artists that can't just pack up and travel. I think you said a couple of things that are very, very important. And just today, believe it or not, I just had this conversation today with a couple of my colleagues. And we were just talking about like, people don't know the difference between 4 and 4. They don't know FOR and FOUR. People don't know the difference between piece and piece. A piece of cake with the IECE and pharmacy, PECE. And so I think that what you're saying speaks volumes. How can you expect anybody to take you seriously if you can't spell and you don't know the difference?
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. And that's funny you say that. One of my friends, Jawan, he actually worked on Deadly Sexy with me as well.
Okay.
He worked on Monogamy, which I think you've seen that we posted. That kind of posted.
Yeah.
So season 1 and season 2, yeah, he worked with me on both of those. But a lot of times, we're on the phone and we're texting and we're typing these up real fast. And granted, you're definitely going to make you're going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? But a lot of people can tell, unfortunately, that when you make a mistake and when you just don't take time to, you just don't take time to fix it. You know what I mean? Because a mistake is bound to happen, but it's like if you type it and that's just how you do it.
If everything comes out like that, that's not a mistake. You are convicted. You believe that is right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like when you like, oh, this is how you talk. It's kind of off-putting to the person on the other end. So that's just something like I just call like social media etiquette. Sometimes you just have to understand that, because that can be the difference between an opportunity and no opportunity, just by the way that you speak to someone and they're just like, I don't know if I want to deal with them because, they like, hey, what up? Check out my music, or just approach people the right way and, kind of minimize the typo, because we have like spell check and stuff. But again, mistakes are going to happen. And again, he told me today, he's like, yeah, man, you gotta try to check your typos. So I'm like, all right, yeah, you right. I try to check them, but it's a lot of writing sometimes. But you got to have those people who are, if you have people around you who tell you that, like, oh, yo, you gotta fix that. You're like, oh, thank you, So
it sounds like what you're saying is, if you always in the room, and this is something that shout out to Sky 4 Records CEO Frank Mosley III. He always makes the comment, and when we're talking, he'll say, Lillie, I have no problem with not being the smartest one in the room, because if you're the smartest one in the room, something is wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's really bad if you're the smartest one in the room and you still not the smartest one in the room, if you feel what I'm saying. So I think we really need to, definitely embrace the young artists, these independent artists. And my running joke is, when I was teaching high school, I would always say, you know what, mama? I can deal with a young fool, but I can't deal with an old one. You can still teach them. These old ones, they stuck in their ways. And so I say that to say, I think that we still need to embrace, and definitely I want to make sure that we put your product out there relative to that book, that journal, because the guide is necessary. I think your guide is going to be necessary for a lot of independent artists, coming up through the ranks. Now, as we begin to wind down, I definitely want to go back to the business, because what does your future in, this industry hold? Like, do you have any other ventures, any other business ventures, or do you want to brand S-Cubed, as I'm going to call it?
The future for 85 Productions, myself, Super Sync Squad, again, I'm really, really excited to be building upon this, you know what I mean? Because I want to make it as big as it's supposed to be. And I'm really, again, with Monogamy, it just hit Netflix on in Africa, and that was like, so it was just so crazy to me because I remember talking to my wife, maybe could have been like a month ago, I don't know, but I'm always the what if kind of person, like what if it was on Netflix, or I'm gonna get music on Netflix one day. And finally it's like I'm able to say that, like, oh yo, we really have music on Netflix in an entirely different country, and that's big because now even more people see credits, now more people hear music. You know what I mean? Now it opens up more doors for more projects. So the future, I believe, definitely holds, bigger projects on bigger platforms, way more credits, definitely, because I'm diligently working every single day to make sure that, I'm working on working on branding, or working on just spreading a word or connecting with people, and being thankful for opportunities like the opportunity that you presented, to me via this platform. That's stuff like that is very, very big, and it's inspiring, and it means a lot, because now I know, like, oh man, somebody saw me, someone important can see me, so that really helps me and keeps me motivated. So for 85 Productions, which 85 was the year I was born, that's why that's the next.
Hey, shout out to the 85 baby.
Yep. Hey. Like, yeah. I can't. All right, I can't do that. But so yeah, so again, for like 85 Productions, it's just, I've always had this vision of, telling people, because I've got people come to me all the time, like, how did you do it? And I know the pain of, asking someone how they did something, like, oh, you gotta just grind, you gotta grind, you gotta have faith. I'm like, yo, just tell me. That's really it. So that's my whole thing. I'm not gonna give you all the keys, you know what I mean? Because it's a business that I run. It's a business that, it's a business that I run. But again, it's like, yo, some things I will tell you. I mean, I might tell you, drop some stuff on social media from time to time. But again, it was my dream at one point to really build something that, as you can see, like I like to talk, and when I get to talking about things that I like, I can, get people interested. And I really like the idea of running a company that can travel different places and enlighten and motivate people, and say like, hey, I know you're up and coming, and I know you have these dreams and aspirations, but you don't have to, quit school. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to drop everything and live, and be homeless and things like that. Some things are necessary, but there's another side to it. And the other side is that, yo, you can get a steady job. You just have to dedicate that time out. And again, I have like 2 boys, I have a wife, and, it becomes a handful at times, understand what I mean? But you can still do it, again, keep faith and keep praying. But that was my dream, just to build something for people who needed opportunities, and again, create opportunities, because there aren't a lot of, there's not a lot of Black composers, and a lot of us, like I would say, like in the Black community, it's always like, everybody wants to be in competition all the time. And it's like, yo, we don't even have to go there, but I just want to be that person, again, helping everybody. I don't care who you are, but again, just getting in there, like, yo, we can do it together. I'll help you. I don't have any problem helping you. I help you, you help me, we help each other, so on and so forth. But again, 85 Production, I don't know if I can, let me see if I can get it. It might go wrong way.
Other way.
There's the whole thing. There it is, right there. Sorry, wrong way. But there it is, right there. But so again, for 85 Productions, it's definitely a big future, I believe, and especially with the Super Sync Squad, because my goal is to, I'm not going to say my goal, because this is what I'm doing. I'm bringing something unique to the industry when it comes to opportunities for film and television, and getting your music to the right people, and those who can help you get on that big screen and get those credits for you, or for you to get those credits. Right. Mm-hmm.
You definitely have been spectacular. The interesting thing is that here I am, and that was the thing. I was like, wow, like he's gonna do this interview. Wow, I'm excited. And to hear that you feel blessed to be here, like I felt blessed for you agreeing to come here. I mean, it lets me know that we are all on the same road. And it further lets me know that I can continue to be me. I don't have to be watered down, and I don't have to be ex official. I can be me, and it's gonna be okay. And Nelson, I love the energy. I love your work. And what is something that you would say? And I think you said a lot. You have dropped a lot of jewels tonight. But what is something that you would say to an aspiring, whether it's an artist or aspiring producer or what have you? What's the best advice that you could give to them?
The best advice I would give is to keep God first. And the reason why I say that, you will hear a lot of people say that, but it resonates with me so much entirely because there was a point where, again, I was down here and I didn't know what I was going to do, to where out of the blue, I'm like, oh, this opportunity came, and for me being a believer, that's just really what I've held onto, and aside from me doing the work, I really truly believe that if I had, if I didn't have this talent or this gift, that I've gotten from God, then this is not what I would be, would be doing. And I had a boss. Again, I'm not gonna get into the story, but I had a boss many, many years ago, and at the job I left actually, and he was a really, really great Christian man and everything. And he told me, he said, Nelson, you might not make it rapping, or you might not be a superstar, but you might end up being a music teacher and teaching people like how to make music or teaching people how to do this. And here I am, years later, teaching people. I still make music. I'm not this big giant superstar, but I'm still building my own business. I'm building my own business. Thank you. It's like I'm building my own business and I'm teaching people, and it's like, yo, this is something that I really enjoy. So I would say definitely, keep God first, and if it's something that you enjoy, definitely stick with it. If it's 5 things you enjoy, stick with it. If it's 10 things you enjoy, stick with it. Definitely you have to focus, but just keep going until something really sticks, and it might not be popular at the moment, and it might not be what's really, resonating with everybody, but you build it. What movie was that? Like, if you build it, they will come. What was that movie?
Oh my God! Wait a minute. If you build it, they will come. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly.
They were like in a field or some. Wait, Field of Dreams?
It was Wayne's World.
No, wait, really?
Wayne's World. It was Wayne's World. You remember him and Garth were outside the thing that was like, if you something, they will come. If you something, I'm telling you, it was Wayne's World. I remember.
That's what it is. Like, if you believe in it and that's what you want to do, you put it out there. The people who need to come to you and the people that you need to connect with is gonna happen. Keep God first, pray about it, and again, just be you. Be you. That's the only thing you can be. And they say be you because everybody else is taken. And so that's really, I didn't make that up though, but I saw it somewhere.
Everybody else is taken. You know what? I love it. I love it.
I saw it on a meme or something, and I'm like, yeah, that worked. Pop right in there. So
wow, Nelson. Oh my God, this was awesome. I look forward to future endeavors. I look forward to, collaborating with you and just whatever it is that we can do. Let us know. Thank you so much. And please,
thank you very much,
guys, look him up. I mean, he is the CEO and owner of 85 Productions LLC, as heard on TV Publishing, December 1985 Publishing, and like I said, Super Sync Squad. Cute, baby.
There we go. Let me get on the camera one more time.
We'll get it right.
Eyes out, so it's coming.
Yeah.
Definitely. See, I wish I could dance. I don't really have any dance moves, but I got rhythm on the beat, but no dance moves. But thank you again. I definitely appreciate this opportunity. It was wonderful, really, really wonderful. Thank you again.
You're so welcome, and thank you. And you have a blessed evening.
All right, you also. All right, bye. All right, thank you everybody for watching. See everybody soon. All right, peace.
Wow, everybody. So you just heard from Nelson K. Johnson. You know, he dropped a lot of jewels. And as we wait for our 8 o'clock guest, I really want to reflect upon some of the things that he stated and really right now just kind of vibe with you. I think that what we've done is we have kind of commercialized a spirit of ignorance. And the thing about us commercializing it is that now we're being exploited as ignorant people, you know, and the thing is, we're not barbarians. We are art. From the beginning of time, we've always been art. We've always been dancers, you know. Just think back, and you know, I wasn't born then, but I can remember, you know, reading and hearing and watching, you know, old black and white films where our ancestors were so creative. They came up with songs and humming and beats that really were depictions and representations of what they were going through, but not just what they were going through, how they were going to escape out of bondage, right? And so I think that we need to think about that as we are working in our respective industries. The industry is so broad, guys. When I say industry, I'm talking whether you're an actor or actress, whether you're a musician, whether you're a rapper, a singer, whatever you are, you know, you have to be the best at whatever it is that you can be. And I think that what happens is we don't think. We don't think. And we don't really and truly embrace our creativity. But the other part of it is that some of us get so arrogant because we make one little step that we forget that there's more to it. Just because you make one step doesn't mean you've made 6, because you can get set back 12 steps off of making that one step if you don't do it in decency and in order and in humility and in grace. And so I think that those are the things that we really need to think about. And so I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to play a little bit of music. I'm going to let you definitely listen to some of the show tunes from Mr. Nelson Johnson as we wait for our 8 o'clock guest. So guys, listen up and stay tuned. Uh-oh. I hear a little bit of to the window to the wall up in there. Oh, then you got a little, then he give you a little twerk song. Hey. Guys, it's consulting time with Lillie Mae, and I'm just vibing to the tunes of CEO, songwriter, producer, composer for film extraordinaire Nelson K. Johnson. And we kind of just camping out and waiting for my spectacular 8 o'clock guest who's coming down from the north, baby, Philadelphia. Yes. And so definitely, Nelson, we thank you. I'm so excited that you were able to join me. But now, guys, it is time for me to turn it up a little bit and introduce you to an individual who seemingly is a very, very interesting guy. Now, this guy is not only a hip hop artist, but he's a producer and a promoter, and he's coming from the top. So he's coming from Philly. And I know as soon as I said the top, y'all start thinking New York, but no, I'm talking Philly. So without further ado, I introduce you to Adot UPT.
Hey. What up, though?
What's going on? Thank you so much for coming aboard tonight. I know you have your own thing, so let's just jump right in. First and foremost, I don't feel like I can do you justice. This is the beginning of this relationship. So now see, when we get out to Hollywood and I'm on the red carpet introducing you, I'll be ready then. But right now, I'm gonna let you introduce you.
Well, you know, I'm Adot UPT, the Walker Discount. I'm from Philly. I'm the owner of Off Top TV. I'm an MC. Basically live music. I do everything involving music, from MC, writing, production, promotions, marketing, all that stuff. So everything involving music and entertainment, I try to dabble in. And you know, but my home is the studio. I'll say that.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna jump right in because I already know that you know the industry. You have a wealth of information from being an artist to, I mean, just hearing how you even started, you know, had me like, oh, okay, so you not new to this, you true to this.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in. Tell us about how your journey with music even started.
Well, starting off, most people. Well, I didn't even say this when I first talked to you. Starting off, really, my music journey started with my parents when I was very young, playing records and rap. When I was 2, 3 years old, playing LL Cool J, Rakim,
Hey.
Cool G rap, you know, Sugar Hill Gang, stuff like that. So early on, I was hearing a lot of different type of lyricism, like fun music, lyrical music, even music talking about like religion, 5%ers and different things like that. So I had a different outlook than most people on rap. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So what would you say is your motivation or mission to pursue music?
Well, my mission to pursue music is really, I really like freedom of speech. You know what I mean? I feel like it should be okay to say what you want and people shouldn't be mad. You know what I mean? If you can do what you want, as long as you're not hurting nobody, you should be able to say what you want as long as it's not hurting anybody. And words shouldn't hurt you, because sticks and stones break your bone. Words will never hurt you. So
Okay.
you should be able to say things, discuss things on music that's different. There might be touchy topics, and it shouldn't bother people as much. So, I want to help people
Absolutely.
make money from their music. I want to help people get their music out there, and I want to carry on freedom of speech. People being able to talk shit in their music.
I know that's right. So, how would you describe your style of genre? Because I know when I check you out on the website and everything, I noticed that you preface yourself as the one that will give you catchy hooks and hot lyrics. But how do you describe your style and your genre? Like, how do you describe yourself?
I describe myself as Adot UPT, the black rap guy. So that's how I describe myself as far as rap. And when I say that, I say it as in a sense, I don't really believe in genres. I don't believe in styles. I don't believe in I think they're boxes. So I don't really have a set style or set genre. I feel like hip hop is like karate. We're like karate masters where you're good if you have multiple styles. Like you're
Okay.
a higher level if you have 10 styles that you can switch back and forth from, then you're good. You're better than somebody that only has one style. Yeah.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. So, all right. So, Adot, I guess the name, I need to know about the name. So, Adot and the UPT, explain that to me.
Well, early on, my rap name was AK-74, and that was like
Oh, that
only
sounds
yeah, it's a special edition of the AK-47, which is called the AK-74, but it was more of me rapping like a gun, like rapid fire raps. And my block was 74th. That's the block I was raised on. So you put that
okay.
together, it's like AK-74, which is also a special edition of the AK-47, which a lot of people know of, that gun.
Oh,
So getting older, I start running into people certain people didn't want to do certain things just because of that name. And they felt like the gun name, like, oh, it's a gun, like, oh, I don't want to. So, I flipped it to Adot UPT, which is also where I'm from, Uptown area of Philadelphia. And Adot is short for AK. Yeah.
okay. Wow. You know something? I appreciate that because I love the fact that you're able to articulate your name. I've asked people, hey, how'd you come up with your name? Silence, crickets, or something crazy. One of the other things I appreciate you saying is that you didn't want that persona really associated with what you were doing because you already knew what time it was. That speaks to
Yeah.
your maturity and that you understand that sometimes you got to kind of tweak it a little bit to make it work, right?
Definitely, I felt like it was affecting money making opportunities based off people that didn't want their brand getting involved with violence or nothing like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, or people would assume that a certain show would be a violent situation because it was an AK, or the AK is involved in the name. So it was just an
Absolutely.
assumption that came with that shit.
I get that. I get
Mhm.
that. I get that. So, all right, Adot, now let's talk career development. Like, what has your career looked like? Like, has it been consistent? Have you taken breaks? How would you describe your career, how it has kind of progressed?
Well, my career always been pretty independent, so it's always been stops and goes and different levels and different times. There's been times I've been like in rap groups, or like even as a solo artist, more like of a squad of rappers, and we collab all the time. We share a studio. Different things like that. Certain people fall off from it. And different changes in the career. So
Okay.
it's always been stops and goes. Real life getting in the way. I never signed a deal. I never had like a big advance from no label or nothing. So
Wow.
everything I always been doing was me collabing with people that work in music, on their own independent level, and I'm on my independent. We come together. I rap, they make beats, they have a studio. I know how to do this or that, and we link up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Me grabbing my own equipment, me linking with people, us putting together money to get equipment and putting shit out. I never had like an investor per se. Yeah.
So, so it sounds like you pretty much have literally pulled yourself up by your bootstraps with the help of your friends, maybe, and
Yeah.
colleagues.
Friends and colleagues I met over the time, people that felt like I was good and I felt like they were good. We got together. Uh, I might have had studio, they might have had beats, I might have had money to buy certain equipment, they might have had talent. I might have had the talent at certain times, they had the studio, and
Mhm.
things just were able to happen because we both had a similar goal of creating good music and making it hip hop and trying to make money from it and trying to be, but even before the money
Mhm.
and even aside from the money, like regardless if it makes money or not, we just gonna try to make the best music, best hip hop we can make.
Absolutely. I love that. I love the collaboration and I love how approachable you are. That was one of the things that I was like, wow, he's really approachable. And initially I was like, I don't know if I want to approach him because I don't want to have to give him the business. But you were so approachable and just
Yeah, I can give off that. Yeah, sometimes I can give off that image, and people might think that because they might see stuff online and be like, "Oh wow, oh he said this to this person," but people don't know behind the scenes. People don't know how people treat you and treat your money
that's
and
it.
time. And sometimes when people don't take shit, they might look like the bad guy.
That's it. That's it. I have a best friend like that, so I get it. I get it. But I
Mm-hmm.
definitely, guys, check a UPT out. He will link you to his website. I'm gonna put that link up. I have been checking some things out. Black Dynasty is definitely what's up.
Thank
That
you, thank you.
definitely what's up. Guys, I want to sample that for you when we get ready to transition out. But Adot, let's talk about you. Let's talk about industry and your opinions relative to the industry. Now, how do you feel the internet and social media impacts the, industry and independent artists? Like, what do you think?
There's pros and cons.
Okay.
Pros and
Give me
cons. It
some of
kind of make you. You said pros first. You want to hear some pros?
the pros first. Yeah.
The pros is that you can reach the whole world from your couch. You can reach the whole world from your bedroom. Um, you can get to people in different countries.
Mhm.
You got access to free promotion, very low cost promotion. Um, you can reach the biggest person and the biggest whoever the biggest label person, whoever they are. If you know who they are, you can kind of reach them and have some type of streamline to them, regardless if they respond or not. You can kind of throw a line out and kind of see. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cast the reel and rod. Yep, I get it. Okay. Now, what are the cons? What do you think the cons are?
The cons are, as far as music and entertainment, anybody can jump in, so you get a lot of non-professional level or non-quality music and
Absolutely.
actors, movies, videos, a lot of low quality, but that's an opinion in itself. You know what I mean? So
But I see that that's something that you really focus on is quality. And I've noticed that, it doesn't seem like to me you put anything out if it's not tip top. You know what I'm saying? And
no,
looking
that's
at
not
like,
true. That's not true. That's not
really?
true. No,
Oh,
I just started focusing more on quality.
okay.
Cause I know me, I psych myself out of putting stuff out a lot. I got a lot of unreleased music because I feel like, oh, it ain't good enough to me, so it's not good. But what I start to realize is some songs I don't even like, people like.
Hmm.
And a lot of
Okay.
songs I put no effort into at all and just played around with. They got a lot of views and they were more popular than songs I took a lot of time on and I really thought about and tried to make a big concept and write. So what
Okay.
I start doing is just having fun sometimes. Like 90% of the time I
Wow.
don't write and I don't try to contemplate too much or think or write or do anything. I just go and say exactly how I feel on the record and just try to make it sound as good as possible. And I might even mess up a little bit and just fix it within the mixing and going back and editing, and that'd be that.
Okay. So what are some of the mistakes you wish you could have avoided, throughout your journey?
Waiting a lot, waiting on opportunities. Opportunities coming up and like, oh damn, come down here, waiting for this person to come with me, or waiting to do the video because everybody not there and it's not going to be looking a certain way. What I mean, waiting for somebody else studio, waiting to, what I mean, there's somebody else studio time available instead of
Absolutely.
doing everything you can as much as you can when you got the time, ASAP. Don't put it off. You know what I mean, don't put them moves off. Don't put them opportunities to jump in that site. I feel like another big opportunity. Oh man, like one of the biggest DVDs up here was a fucking what was it? Big Star. What was it called? Big Star. It wasn't Headshots. It wasn't We Run the Streets. It was like a big DVD, right? And one of my friends called me to be on it, and they were like, "Yo, coming to the schoolyard over here, man. They rapping on DVD." And I felt like I was like 15. I felt like I was like this super street boy that I couldn't be on camera, and the cops was gonna come book me if I be on camera rapping. Like back in the day, this is before YouTube and all that. So like, it was different. People thought different. It's like, no, you don't take pictures and all that.
No, I get it. I absolutely get it.
You don't get on camera and you don't take pictures like that if you're gonna be outside doing what you do. So that's how I felt, and I didn't do it. And it was one of the biggest DVDs in Philly history. Most people that rapped on them is still known today. They got record deals. A lot of them like there's big figures in Philly hip hop. Like, you know what I mean, they got big features. They know they make money off their music. Like, you know what I mean, because that was a big stepping stone for them. Millions of people seen that DVD. You know what I mean?
Wow. So it sounds like what you're saying is sometimes we are trapped in our mentality and that holds us back.
Yeah, most times what well now I feel like everything is your fault. Like now, as far as life and my career, all that stuff, is you can't blame nobody for nothing that's not going how you want it to go, because you are the controller of your life to the maximum. You control everything and every decision you make, who you decide to talk to, who you decide to network with, who you decide to work for, who you decide to hire. However you want to play it, boss role, worker role, however role, is your decision every day, every time, every second. So everything that happens, just my life and how I feel now is my fault. And it's my fault. Nobody did nothing to me. I did everything to myself, and it's all my fault.
That's major.
Yeah.
That's major. That's a man speaking. For you to be able to acknowledge that, you know what, I can't blame A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I did this to me. I think that speaks volumes about yourself, your character, and the level of integrity, you know what I'm saying, that you hold yourself to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's spectacular. But
thank you.
Let's shift gears, because you're not just an artist. Like, you have some businesses. So talk a little bit about Off Top TV, and then tell us a little bit about your show, your live review show.
Okay. All right. Well, Off Top TV, we've been around for a minute. So what we do is we try to merge real life promotion and online promotion. Okay. And I'm giving you something real exclusive because I don't really talk about this, and this is really.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me take a sip, because you gonna get a little on me something.
Yeah, it's getting exclusive right now. I'm giving a blueprint. I'm giving a blueprint because you said this entrepreneur status. This entrepreneur tip. So, this is like this is real life promotion and online mix, what most people don't do. Most people promote online or they promote real life. I mixed the two, and you can't really understand it until you see it.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what we do. Behind the scenes in the studios, we at the show. We at the event. You know what I mean? We showing what most people don't see.
Absolutely. The reality, the real of the real. And you know something, Adot, I'm glad you said that because, you know, I don't think I've been starstruck but one time in my life, right? And it's just kind of like, you put your pants on just like I put my pants on.
Yeah.
And when I started to get to be backstage with some of our mainstream artists, it's just kind of like, you know what? You are really normal. Like, you're not just normal. Like, you're really normal. Like, I'm more lit than you, and you are a celebrity, but I'm lit, and you just semi-lit.
Right.
And the other part of it is I find that some individuals' attitudes suck.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Some of
Yep.
the people that I love the most and have, their attitudes suck. And I'm just like, oh, no wonder nobody want to work with you. Okay. So
You know what? I gotta say something about that though. Can I
okay,
say something about that?
please do.
Because I feel like I get some of that, and people say that to me too. Oh, that's
Okay.
why nobody want to work with you now, but it's not true. Because the people that it's a lot of people working with them people. You know what it is? People get burnt out.
Okay.
Like I'm not rich at all. I've never been rich. I've never been nowhere rich, but I'm very good at seeing stuff from other people's angle and just having a little nice amount of money where you can do a little things. You can start to see how people treat you like a bank, or if you can't do something, it's fuck you. You don't have to have that much. You can see it with a little bit amount of thousands. If people know you have it and they know you able to do something and they ask you to do it, you just say no. They get mad. They try to cause an issue. If they owe you some money, they try to cause an issue, and now it's a problem, so they don't got to pay you. And you know what I mean? They mad. It's an issue, and they don't want to talk to you, so they ain't got to pay you.
Wow, Adot, that's accurate. But you know what? It's not even with a little bit of money. If people think you have something and they
Yep.
ask you for it, not knowing what your financial situation is. So absolutely. All right, Adot, we're gonna start winding down. But my question for you is, well, one of my questions for you is, what advice can you, as an artist that is independent and that's still building, what advice can you give to somebody that is coming up through the ranks, or an artist that's already here but just not moving as fast as they want to move?
All right. One thing I'm gonna say, this is no disrespect to you or what you saying. There's no such thing as independence. Independence don't exist. Nobody's independent.
Okay.
Independence is a fake word that's made up to make you think that you're doing something by yourself when this is a world that's codependent on everything else.
Woo.
So nobody's independent in the world.
Hold
Get
on,
that out
let
your
me
mind.
drink. Hold on, I need to drink. Sip.
Yeah, it gets critical. It gets
Okay.
critical.
Woo.
Listen to the billionaires talk. Go on YouTube. Listen to them. Listen to the billionaires. There's no independence. You need people, especially if you're trying to be a boss. You have to
Ooh.
take care of people. That's the only way to be a boss, is to give away money and take care of people. Multiple people, a lot of large people, a lot of amount of people, 50 people, 100 people.
So wait a minute,
That's how you become a boss, and that's how you become rich, and that's how you become wealthy. When you can employ hundreds of people and you can give hundreds of people money, you become a boss, and then you become.
Whoa. So you're telling me that to be a boss, you gotta literally really be able to handle all these people and really be paying these people and giving these people money. So you telling me that these people that's, they flashing, they got on the Gucci, the Fendi, they not bosses?
Not just because, not only if you have that, if you are having people that can't get and do how you do, and you taking care of those people, that's what make you a boss. Them disabled people in the family, that people that really can't, it ain't that they might not be that smart or something. All they can really do is work at McDonald's or something. They really don't have a mental capacity. Like, everybody's not intelligent. Let's keep it 100. Everybody's not intelligent. Everybody's not smart. Everybody don't think fast. That's why some people have to do certain things. If you are a person that's taking care of a lot of people, in communities and cities and stuff, or even your family, 5 people, say the kids' mom died and your sister mom kids die and you taking care of all the kids and your sister, she going through school, you making sure she good, you help her out, she living in a spot, everything taken care of. Where is it cool at when somebody kids get 16 and 18 now they cut off from bread and they got to go out and live on their own? And when did that become cool? Because where I live at, it's a lot of different communities and a lot of different races, a lot of different people with different cultures. And some people just get a bigger house and live together and split bills so they can have a big luxury house. And then everybody can have their own space still, but everybody's together and still can work together and put money together and pool money together to pay bills, to get through life and be able to save and be able to, instead of everybody trying to live alone and struggle alone.
Wow.
Because you think you're independent, which don't exist, because you're still calling everybody. You're going to work for somebody. You don't own a company, a car that you didn't make, and a house that you didn't create, with money that you didn't print, with food that you didn't grow, with land that you got to pay taxes on because you don't own. Where's the independence at? Nobody's independent. Nowhere.
You know what? So I guess when we do our history lesson, I guess I have to bring you back, huh? Because it seemed like you're schooling the children. Y'all listen up. It's consulting time with Lillie Mae, but I feel like it's consulting time with Adot. Cause he out here just throwing, and I don't even have nothing else in my cup. I got a little sweet.
I made you empty the cup. Let's get it. That's what I like. Let's turn up.
If you really knew what was in that cup, you would be calling me pump faking. Because it really ain't nothing in that cup but my mama's down south tea that I learned how to make.
I'm drinking water. Look, I'm drinking water. Yeah, I got some Fiji. I like high class water.
So, Adot, one of the things that I know you're doing to give back is your live review show. And I think you give a prize or whatever. Talk to us a little bit about your live review show and how people can get to that show.
Well, the show is called Live with Adot. That's every night except Sunday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. 8 p.m. to 9 is extended. If the show is getting too crazy and the competition is too much, and I gotta have extended rounds or extended battle, it goes from 8 to 9. So the show is 7 to 8 on IG, which is Instagram, on my Instagram, ADOT UPT on IG.
Got it. And we're gonna put that, guys. We're gonna put that up so that you can support Adot because he is giving back. One thing about this gentleman, having conversation with him was spectacular. We roasted, we laughed, we joked, we vibed. And
I gotta tell you what I did. I gotta tell you what it's about, though. I didn't even get to the meat.
Well, get to the meat and potatoes so I can go eat my meat and Brussels sprouts.
When the COVID-19 started, the day it started, I woke up. I said, "This is not planned. I didn't make this up. This is not a planned thing." My brand is Off Top TV because a lot of things I do are spur of the moment right now. I think about it, I do it right now. So I woke up. This is before it was guaranteed we was gonna get any money in anything. I woke up and said, "You know what? I'm gonna go live." I never go live. I said, "I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna do a cipher, and I'm gonna stimulate hip hop." Everybody mad, they want money and all that. I'm doing all right. I'm not broke, but I'm not rich at all. I'm not doing great. But I feel like people doing real bad. So I'm like, I'm going to just give away some money for a cipher. Like, that's my way to stimulate hip hop. I said, damn, I'm always like giving money to like people on the street, like they be acting like they, like little dollars, $5 or something. And people like, damn, they going to go smoke and get high. I'll be like, man, I don't care what they do. Just they look out. Like, this the blessing, like, should be coming. Like people don't understand. That's how you get money too. You give away and don't even worry about it. Don't think about it. Don't give away with a purpose. Just give because somebody wanted it or needed it. Boom. I said, I'm gonna do it to hip hop. I'm gonna stimulate hip hop. I started with $60. No, $30 or something. I said, I'm gonna give away $30 for the best cipher first. Cash App. My man came in there, yo, I'm gonna send it out. He sent it out. Boom, all these people start coming. Somebody else was like, yo, I'm gonna add 30. Became 60. Boom. Wow. Somebody like, yo, I'm gonna add 2 hours studio time. Boom. It became $60 2 hour studio time in a month, free promo.
Wow.
People start rapping. Boom, it started going crazy.
That's
More
real.
money start adding on, more rap start adding on, paying like $100-something. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna give away $1,000. So I'm gonna give away $1,000 all throughout the quarantine. Like this week, I thought it was only gonna last like a week. So I said, all right, I'm gonna give away like $1,000.
I'm
So I said
about
I'm
to
gonna
go
be giving
rap.
away like, yeah, for rapping. Whoever the best got the best cipher. The cipher went crazy. Like the whole community was in it. It was Golden Girl was in there, Doc B, Golden Girl's son, Aunt We Run the Streets was in there, Rock.
Oh, I'm about to spit some right quick. Look, you giving away that, yo, give me a
No,
beat.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't $1,000. It wasn't $1,000 in one for the best rap in one day.
Oh,
Different days, all right. Different people won $50. Then certain day, somebody won $100. You know what I mean? Then certain days, then it's turned into people start betting. Oh,
Wow.
they betting on themselves now. Oh, I think he corny. I'm gonna bet him. Oh, it started getting crazy. People start talking crazy. The bets start coming in. One day on my live, somebody got offered $10,000. Like when they got off my live, people contacted them. They offered $10,000 for a battle to get booked for a battle. So that offer came in for them. And another day, one day $590 got gave out in one day. One person won like 270, and the other person won like 320 or something like that. It was
Wow.
5 total.
Oh, I know you telling the truth because you got that math down pat. Let me find out you were a math scholar in school.
No, I was bad at math.
Like money.
I didn't even do good in math. No, I like finance, but I didn't do good in math, like actual
Okay,
math.
okay, Mr. Finance.
I
Okay.
pull a calculator out, like, fuck all that. But
So
yeah, but when it tallied up, it was over 1.2. And like throughout the mid times, the stimulus came in, like, oh, Trump giving away 1.2. So I said, all right, I'm gonna give away the whole 1.2. So I
wow.
gave away 1.2 with the help of a few people. Yeah, but more bread from that was even one because people start betting, other people start adding on to what I started putting in, and then it got crazy. But me personally, I gave away 1.2. I gave away a stimulus before the stimulus.
Wow. So Adot, look, I mean, we definitely going
Hip
I'm
hop.
gonna bring you back. You're coming back because I feel like you have a wealth of information and not even about music. You have a wealth of information about life. And the crazy thing is I'm big on theories. And a lot of the things that you talked about today are a part of critical theories. And critical theories definitely speak and conflict theorists definitely speak your language. And so I definitely want to bring you back to talk about some other things on the show that's on Thursday nights, all
Okay.
things authentic. I think you would love it, especially when I have male talk, because I'm a female, but I do feel like I have enough male friends to really understand what some of the issues are. And so I really appreciate you rocking it out with me tonight. Guys, live with Adot from 7 to 9 p.m. daily, except for Sundays. It's a live review show. He give out a cash prize. You have to hit him up on
Free
Instagram.
promotion.
It's Adot UPT. Is free promotion. And guys, you have to think about that. Free promotion is what's up. Because see, this is what y'all got to think about. Y'all out here trying to get on lives with all the mainstream artists, but you don't know what his following is like. Did you hear him? Did you hear him? People with blue checks be checking in. So you need to understand that there are heavy hitters out there. Heavy hitters are out there following the people that you don't even realize. And so, Adot, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are definitely, like I said, this is the beginning of a beautiful working relationship. I'm so glad I met you. And
No
I'm so
problem.
glad that I met you because I know that now I'm going to meet the team that comes with you. And I know that you are around like-minded people. So thank you so, so, so much.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm glad I met you, man. I messed with the show. You know what I mean? I'm gonna definitely send more artists here to
Oh, thank
review their
you.
music. You know what I mean? Get interviews so they can let your base know what's going on with them. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And guys, tune in to his live review show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I might even get up there and spit some. Psych. All right, thank you, darling. So, guys, look, it's real. It was fun. Nelson was great. Adot was great. So we're gonna close out with Black Dynasty by Adot UPT. It's consulting time with your girl Lillie Mae, and we're gonna roll out. So that was Black Dynasty by Adot UPT. Guys, definitely follow him on IG. Check him out. An awesome gentleman. And I definitely want you guys to understand that even on It's Consulting Time, it's all about collaboration and connection. We are not in competition. And we are always going to leave you with joy, jewels, and justice. Have a good night, everyone.